Guys. Good morning, Drew. All right, I'm here with my cup of coffee from where is it? Boston, the Boston Tea Party, but it's coffee actually, because I drink more coffee than tea. My name is Rafael. I'm the founder of Share Studio. Been doing Amazon for the past 8 years. Actually, my business birthday is coming up August 28th. Can you believe that,
Oh,
bro?
it was, it
That's
was
crazy.
August 28th.
Yeah,
I
not
have to
not the
look up mine. I think it's
20
close to your.
28th. And we've gotten brands from making thousands to literally millions a month on revenue. Obviously, Amazon is not just content. Amazon is not just PPC. Amazon is not just product. It's a conglomerate of things put together. And that equation, that formula is what makes you succeed. Right now, the latest trend to the formula is external traffic, which we are actually doing as well. So I'd be more than happy to help if you guys need me for that. In my screen, there's Andrew Pernia. He manages more than $10 million on ad spend. I'll let him talk more about himself.
Yeah. So I'm Andrew, as Rafael said. I'm the CEO of JungleClick. We help e-commerce businesses increase their sales and profit through different systems, but primarily sponsor ads, DSP, and external traffic as well. We've been doing this for the past 5 years. We manage more than 10 million in ad spend. And the purpose of these lives is to have you ask questions about Amazon e-commerce in general and or review listings or talk about any news or topic that you want us to talk about based on our expertise in e-commerce. And yeah, we have our first question already, Nicolette. All right, there you go. Hey guys, with how insanely competitive the home and kitchen category is right now, would you launch a new kitchenware product today? If so, what kind of budget would it actually need? Okay, so I want to start with something or with a fact, which is that it's not just home and kitchen, which is insanely competitive. It's all Amazon. Literally, all products are insanely competitive, and that is because number one, um, of course, there has been a lot of campaigns since 2015, since the 2010s to until today for having Amazon as a side hustle to create business on Amazon, which has led people to launch a lot of businesses on Amazon. But also, most importantly, is that now manufacturers in China are also selling D2C instead of just B2B. And that's why in many niches, you have many generic products sold from China directly, or the manufacturers directly in the United States. So that's why nowadays it feels more competitive than before. Um, but that doesn't mean that it is impossible. That doesn't mean that it is that there's no way now, because everybody now looks the same. I would say because everybody is now trying to do the same strategy than before. I think this is one of the prime moments for different products, for different strategies to thrive. And I think that's all you need. It's not just for home and kitchen. It is for every product that you're gonna launch on Amazon or in e-commerce in general.
That's spot on.
But
Thing I would add is that even though there's a lot of more international sellers, not just from a specific country, but just international in general, the they most of the times don't understand the culture, and because they don't understand the culture, that they're not as successful sometimes, and the only way they compete is on pricing. So it's like know your strength, right? Know your cards, the cards you've been dealt with, and those cards that you've been dealt with, what can you do with those cards? So first thing, I would never ever right now at least go into a category, whichever category it is, that's something that sells for less than $15, less than $19, like I wouldn't sell anything like that way because most like that is price conscious. It's not the same thing to buy a camera for $500 than to buy I don't know, utensils for $10, right? So the sweet spot for me is between 30 and 50 or 60, 70. Less than 100 is great. More than 100, like you need better marketing. For sure, you need better marketing. Margins are usually better. So I would focus when launching a brand on Amazon at least because there's so many categories, shop marketplaces. Make sure that you create a brand around it, not just a product, but a brand. That's what I would do to actually increase it, and possibly a something that has wear and tear that people need to buy over and over and over and over again. Like something like I love cleaning supplies. Like how many times do you use your I don't know toothpaste in a day, Andrew? Right? So
I say yeah, 3 times per day.
right? So you have to use it, right? And it's just like, and you have to buy it. And when it's out, it's not like you're like, oh, I don't have any money this week. I'm not gonna, no, like you buy it, you shampoo, cleaning your house, soap, dishwasher soap, I don't freaking know, toilet cleaner, water, tablets. Like there's so many, you have to drink water, right? So there's so many things out there that you can start off and branch out. What I would not do as well is I wouldn't start with too many launches at the same time if it's my first or second launch. Even if it's not your first or second launch, I would try to be cautious. Launching a product takes a lot of work, because if you launch different products, then you're gonna have different PPC spend, for example. What I would do is launch a if I have to launch one product, I would add possibly one or two variations and try them out and see which one sticks and which one doesn't. That's something I would do. But yeah, what do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. Um, I agree about that. You have to avoid being a Me Too brand. You have to avoid being just like the game have changed tremendously from the uh 2010s. Like it's not the same anymore. It's not that you just um do whatever generic product you sell it on Amazon. That game is already non-existent because the manufacturers are selling themselves on Amazon. So you will not do anything different just to have a higher price, which people can find just looking at another listing, right? So you have to create unique selling proposition, you have to create quality, and you have to create a brand that people can trust. That is very important. Now, when it comes to the budget to launch, what would you say is a decent budget to launch a new kitchenware, for example?
Depending on what I'm selling, right? So dude, honestly, like if I if I was to launch a brand right now without even considering expense of PPC, like having a professional like you do the PPC without even costing putting those costs in, without putting the cost of branding and content creation and actual photo shoots and actual commercials and all that, because I will do it myself, obviously. I'm a filmmaker. 15K, 10, 15K. And if I were to consider that, then that jumps to like 20, 25K. Um, that's the budget that I think you should be in. If that's not the budget you should be in, and you have $5,000, then I wouldn't even try. You're gonna you're literally just throwing your rather go to the casino. You have better chance in a casino to make more money than actually on Amazon. It's just very competitive right now. Very, very competitive. There's a statistic that came out. This is the worst time to launch on Amazon, but it's the best time to be on Amazon. What does that mean? From the amount of sellers went from 2.2 million, something like that, to 1.6 million, right, on Amazon. But the amount of millionaire sellers, meaning sellers that make $1 million or more a year, increased by like, I don't know, a stupid number, increased drastically. So that says that Amazon's still a great place, right? So if you go out and you launch your own brand on Shopify, ooh, you're gonna have to start driving traffic. The beauty about Amazon is that it has its own traffic. You're literally competing for the traffic that Amazon already got. So that's why they don't allow you to collect emails, none of that, because it's their traffic. This is a marketplace. It's like the world's biggest mall. You go, this is a shopping mall. That's it, and you're just there. You're in an aisle that says kitchenware for babies. That's you. You're right there, and everybody's your competitor. What do you think? How
Yeah,
much do you think you should spend?
that's true. Yeah, I think it also depends a lot um, on the strategy that you're having. But I want to add something because I don't want to give just an exact number. I want to say that building a product and um, creating a product, selling a product, it has always been, since forever, a capital intensive business, right? It has always been. It was just in the 2000s, 2010s, that was a boom of super cheap products that you could bring on Amazon. You could arbitrage basically with your private label, right? You just bought a good amount of products in China, then you brought it here to the United States, and that's it, right? You put it your brand label, and you could sell it because they were just selling in China. But it has always been a capital intensive business. In the past, you could launch in the past, and I'm talking just a short period of time. You could launch with 5,000, like 10,000, right? Nowadays, you need minimum like 15 to 30,000 approximately to have, and this does account for advertising budget because um, it's not just launching the product and that's it. It's also building the strategy. It's also the first month are always going to be the hardest because nobody knows you, because everybody relies on reviews to grasp a good idea of what your product quality is. So if you don't have any, it's going to be very difficult at the beginning and the conversion is going to be lower. That means that you will have to spend more for every sale. But once you start building the trust, once you start building that reputation, once you start building that brand, then is when the results are good. And to be honest, it's very good because you have a business that is very passive, right? You do have to work a lot to you do have to work to make it work, but it is a passive business at the end of the day. It's a new revenue stream that you could bring to your home. It's just that it is capital intensive, and you have to be aware of that.
So basically, what I just said. Okay, got
Basically,
it. Uh, okay, first product. What do we do? But wait, did you get the report I sent you about this new brand that we're gonna start working with?
the report.
Yeah, don't say the name of the brand. I sent it yesterday. Did you have it ready? So guys, we're gonna start
Uh,
working this brand
yeah,
that was
yeah,
in the
we have it.
you have okay, beautiful. We can see it after this. So this is something that happens to a lot of sellers, and it's you build a business, you get burned out, it's already running, so you're like, let's just leave it to somebody to manage it, and they just tank it because nobody's gonna love your business like you do unless it's us because we're invested into it. So the way we work is by we don't charge you anything, but we do charge in the back end, meaning whatever pay performance basically. If we don't perform, we don't get paid. But if we do perform, we get paid very well. That's the idea. That's the goal. Unless you want to pay up front, but I rather risk it because I know we're so sure of what we can do, what we can achieve. This brand up to date, year to date, this year around 300K, I would say. last year, same time frame, they were making around 700K. So they lost a lot of revenue, a lot of revenue. If you have a brand like that out there that you know that wants to get in needs a lot of help, we're more than happy to help, and we will literally charge nothing. We will charge nothing. We will just charge whatever you're gonna spend on PPC, because I mean it's your brand at the end of the day, right? But we'll update, we'll do everything, but we will get a cut obviously when we do perform. Um, I think it's a great offer for 'em. Like you don't pay shit. Like come on, man.
Yeah,
All right,
I agree.
let's. What do we got? Charles, if you're launching a dog bed brand today, would you replicate what Canine Ballistic is doing? Can you check that brand out? All right, well, Andrew's pulling it up. While Andrew pulls it
Yeah.
up, ask yourself, when was the last time you launched something new for your brand, or try to diversify your business for your brand? Are you doing social media? Are you not doing social media? By the way, Andrew, I need to talk to you about something with a guy we used to work with. Okay, let's go.
All right. All right. So
So,
I think, can you see my screen?
yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, this is Canine Ballistics. I think this is their best selling product.
They have wow, 4.1 at $175. I would do some management, PR management crisis there. So that's a for that price, like 4.3, 4.4 would be great. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I agree. They're very price sensitive. This is what I can see. Well, not very. They increased their price significantly.
Well, they did that because
And their sales.
no, but that was inventory. I'm so sure that was inventory. Like nobody's dumb enough to increase their prices like that unless it's on purpose.
Maybe they were. Maybe
No,
they
they were
were testing
consistent.
out.
They were very consistent. Look,
Yeah.
I do have a friend though that she used to sell. I forgot what she used to sell. She used to sell a product, and her product um she started running out of inventory. And she's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have inventory in time. Let me increase it 10%." She increased it 10%. They were still selling. She's like, "Fuck, they're still selling. Let me increase it another 10%. Still selling. Let me increase it another 10%. Still selling. 10. She ended up increasing it by 100%, and she was still selling. And she's like, well, inventory got in, but fuck it, I'm still selling, so might as well just leave it at this price. So, hey,
Yeah.
maybe that's what they try to do. Look, they're steadily increasing the price. But right now, Amazon's a little bit sensitive with that price increase. No, now they have a competitive recommendation for pricing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at this. They increased $10, and the sales decrease again. This is a signal of lack of brand power pricing. This is definitely a business that Warren Buffett would never buy. For example, that's one
Metrics.
of the key that's one of the key metrics for why he would buy a brand, which is your pricing power. If you can increase your price without decreasing your sales, that means that you have a brand that people trust. For example, Apple. Apple was one of his biggest purchase in the beginning of 2020, in 2019, 2020. And one of the reasons why he invested in Apple was because even though it is tech, he found out it was not tech, it was a consumable product. People bought Apple just as consumers, which is a market that he does understand. And he found out, like, hey, Apple can increase prices as much as they can, and people are going to still make us to buy the product, right? So that's
Yeah,
exactly what this is the contrary case. For example, they increase a bit the price, but they decrease their sales because that's what we were talking about earlier. This is a Me Too brand at the end of the day, and it looks like a Me Too brand. You can look at this, for example. It looks like a whatever brand. It doesn't look like I would never go to no because K9 Ballistic is high quality. The reviews doesn't tell. It's just as you said, they need a PR management here. The reviews are very bad. So if you increase the price, you're just gonna go to the next one. There's no
Bro,
differentiation
you're
to for this.
you're so right on that. So right on that. Like $179 for a dog bed. Right. I understand it's orthopedic and all that. If it is orthopedic, let me see. Let me look at the other photos.
If you don't
Let me
mind
look.
sharing.
Let me look at all the photos. Let me look at all the photos. Well, all of them. All of them. Okay. Go down. Okay, keep going. Let me look at all of them. Okay. Next one, next photo. Next one, next one. Next one.
Wow, this is
Next,
unreadable.
next one, next one. Okay, cool. That's it. I just needed to see that. All right. So if this is a product that you want to stand out, what is your main point of difference? Oh, it's an orthopedic bed. Yeah, yes, there's so many more. So what is the difference between this one? Well, I could say like, hey, this was designed by an orthopedic vet. And I'll just find an orthopedic vet out there, be like, hey, I'll give you, this much amount of money if I can paste, I can use your images and likeness to promote this product on Amazon. Or I give you, I don't know, equity, sweat, or whatever you want to do. But give them that trust, like this is made by professionals. That's a starting point of difference. Second point of difference, the listing has to be, I would put a medical. At this point, if somebody's buying an orthopedic crate bed for their older dog, because most likely it's an older dog. Let me see the second image. Let me see the first image.
This looks terrible.
Let me see the first image. The first image. That looks like a healthy ass dog, not old at all, right? Make him look older. Like most likely it's for older dogs, orthopedic. They have back pains, right? My uncle's doggy, Cosmo, rest in peace, Cosmo. He had very bad back pain. He was a golden retriever. My uncle spent so much money on that dog in his last years of life, so much money, and he loved that dog like an own child. So obviously he would spend whatever. So I would put a bunch of gray hair on this dog as well as this one, right? So the idea is not knowing how to sell, it's a big problem, and not understanding your consumers' pain points, a big problem. Amazon right now, it's not a just throw it there and see if it sticks. No, you need to have that strategy behind the consumer strategy. It's not just about the product anymore, it's about you how you tell the story of the product. Why? Because AI is looking at your reviews. AI is asking you what people are looking like. There's so much behind it now. That's why the sellers that have stayed are becoming millionaires more and more is because 2.4, 2.2 million sellers decreased to 1.6, but the amount of traffic coming in into Amazon has increased drastically. I think it's like a billion users a month visit Amazon, the US. That's crazy, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
insane. How many? Let me see. How many users visit Amazon monthly? Stats.
In, in the US.
Okay, well, let's just use globally because that's why it popped up. Amazon receives approximately 2.3 to 2.8 billion monthly visits globally. Now let's just ask the US. What about the US only? It's not popping up, and I don't wanna go 2.2 billion a month. US month. That's insane. That's
That's
like that's disgusting. 2 billion people
pretty much
visited,
everybody. And
dude. That's
and I think 70% of Americans have Amazon Prime. So
no, it's
that's
not like it's just so that's where I get to. Like the amount of competition came down, but the amount of visits went up. What does that mean? That means that it's just way harder, right? It's normal. It's part of Capitalism. So that's what I would do. I will make this way more medical. Like you're trying
Yeah.
to solve a medical problem.
I have to add something. They have the certificate US certification. We
But
have worked with a lot of brands who are, I'm sorry. Can you see the screen?
yeah, nobody cares about that because they don't understand that. Nobody's gonna read this ever.
Yeah, but I just wanted to add that you with this one, it automatically unlocks uh, uh, the other batch, the um, wow, what was it named? The ecosystem. I don't remember. Do you remember the name of the batch?
Yeah, the I think this is the eco batch.
Eco batch, something like that. Yeah, I don't have it on top of my mind right now, but I remember it does unlock it automatically, which at least would give you some. Oh no, this is certified or something. But even though it is, it just looks like a very generic brand. It looks like I can get the same value with another product. So why in the world I would buy K9 ballistics, for example, instead of just another brand that is cheaper, right? If it looks exactly the same. Just look at this. This is even worse. Look at this, Rafael. You have here in consider similar item. This is a sustainability feature. Here it is, the batch, right? So you have one below with 4,400 reviews with it looks like a 4.5 rating with a way less price, and it's right here below your listing. So just by scrolling down a little bit here, you can find another competitor who is targeting this listing. So you have here like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 30 variations, right? It might let's put in the case that for all the other variations you have the same colors. You have 30 variations which you could use to advertise yourself, your own listings, so that people don't have the alternative to look at this, but rather that your listing is protected. This is here, for example. This is here, the ballistic. They're also doing it, but they're not doing it here. They're not doing it in a good way, because you can see that a lot of other brands are winning the beats, right? So I think it's very, so to answer the question to Charles, I would say no. This is not a good example of what a good brand is. I would say that this is actually a good example of what a bad brand is,
Okay,
or
go
what a
down.
bad strategy is.
We didn't even see the A plus content. Let me see the A plus content. Oh man, guys, come on. Made in the U.S. Wow, if that's made in the U.S., I would have that like right front and center. Go down. What is that? Let me see. Better for people, pets, and what? Go up. So wait, wait, go up, go up. Go up a little bit, go up a little bit. No, no. Let me see the human in the bed. Okay. Okay, so you put the dog in the hammock and the human in the bed. Ay, Dios mío. That's what my granny would say. Okay. I think I've had enough for today. We're already 28 minutes in. Guys at K9, we love you. I think we could definitely do business with you guys. If you need our help, let us know. I'll be more than happy to do it. We'll do it again for free. And we'll, not for free. Nothing's for free in life. Nothing that's worth it is free. We will do it at no risk to you unless we perform. We'll be more than happy to help you. By the way, I got a client of mine. She sells in the dark space, and we got her more than 3 million views in under 3 months, and more than 11,000 clicks to her listing. Um, wow. Okay, Andrew, you wanna go work, bro, or what? You wanna stay here all day?
No, no. I just wanted to add something else
Yeah.
before we leave. And it's about this issue that they're having. This is my hypothesis. So they, now that Amazon has changed the policies for the advertising and has increased the FBA fees, they are basically they choke their profits. Amazon. So now that they have lower profits, they are forced to increase their price because they don't want for sure to decrease their sales that much. So they try like, hey, let's try to increase their price so that we can make any profit. They saw the decline in the sales and they said, no, no way. Let's put it back in and then let's start to slowly increase the price. This is a very bad strategy. You will never be able to increase the price as things are right now and not increase the sales significantly because it is a very price sensitive niche. As we figured, you don't have any brand pricing power, meaning that you increase the price and everybody's gonna just leave to the next one that is cheaper. So one thing that you have to do so that you can increase the price while so that you can increase the profits while maintaining the sales or increasing the sales and leaving the price just as it is by increasing your conversion rate, right? So that's the only way out. And I think very little sellers understand this. They just believe that, hey, yeah, I just need to increase the price and I will get the profits. But that's a very bad strategy. And this is shown by data, right? You try to increase, you decrease the sales. The only way out, and I'm gonna repeat it, and I know that here there are many sellers who are in the same situation, and out there in the world there are thousands of it, if not hundreds of thousands that are in a very similar situation. You cannot make your way out by increasing the price if you have a Me Too brand. All the thing that you can do is increase your conversion rate. And you can do this by improving the way you communicate your product. So your listing is key for this. And I think that just by improving significantly your listing, making some tweaks in the PPC so that you protect your brand even more, because right now it is not very well protected. You can see here, for example, that these guys are using DSP or sponsored display, which you might think, hey, no, I'm doing sponsored products with targeting my listing and that's it. No, you also have to do it with sponsored displays, which is this space right here, or sometimes the place right here, right? So with those little tweaks plus a better plus a better listing that does communicate to your niche and thus improve your perception quality to the buyers, you can increase your conversion rate, and with that you can increase your profit. And with that you're not forced to increase your price. You can remain competitive and you can increase your sales. So that's everything to close my those are my closing statements.
Brother, thank you so much for your closing statements. We really appreciate it. I think your time at debating for your university pay off. Great closing statements. I'm pretty sure that everybody at the what do you call that thing? Unimoon, that sect where you're part of, is proud of you. All right, let's get out of here so that we can go make some money. Bye, everybody. We'll see
Absolutely.
you Tuesday,
Bye.
I think.